Hi and welcome to this video log with me, Wayne, from swimmingcyclingrunning.com. Well, it's always nice to learn from the best. Unfortunately, the best are always on display. This weekend we had the WTS Hamburg race, which was actually a World Championship. Now it's sad slightly that the World Championship didn't include all of the potential best triathletes in the world. Those from Australia and other countries couldn't actually make it. But we did get a wonderful display of tip-top racing. Now as I watched the race I noticed something about the swimming that's very specific and you can learn from too, and I thought we could actually incorporate that into the next session plan that we do on the Back to Swimming series. So in this particular vlog we're going to explain something that's hugely important and that you can learn by watching the best doing their job well. So let's go to the computer and have a look at the WTS Hamburg men's race and see what they're doing. So we're joining the WTS men's race in Hamburg just after the start, and Knabel has gone out into a lead and he's really stroking very well. He's doing 91 strokes a minute, and you can see here it's really a nice stroke as well. He's taking a sighting stroke, so we'll look at his left arm. You can see he's pulling it forward and then he's entering virtually at full extension. That's really a straight arm that he's doing there. And the other arm, it looks like he's putting his hand forward, but is not. He's actually pulling it from the shoulder, but again entering at virtually full extension, and that's at 91 strokes a minute. Now behind him we have two of the most influential racers of current time. We have Vincent Louis and we have Alistair Brownlee, if we stop it there. So Alistair Brownlee is this side and Vincent Louis is that side. We're going to take their stroke rates as they come through. So Vincent Louis is 88 strokes a minute, and we can see Alistair Brownlee there. He's on 102 strokes a minute. That's 102 strokes a minute after 130 meters in this race. And again, look at that arm, virtually straight, coming in nearly in the catch position and at full extension. Other arm looks like he's pulling his hand forward but is not, but again trying to go in full extension, and that's actually him taking a sighting stroke. When he's not taking a sighting stroke, it'll come even further forward. He did it twice in a row there. So they're turning incredibly fast stroke rates at the beginning of this race. Let's see what happens as we go through. So we're 420 metres through the race, and we have Vincent Louis in front, Alistair Brownlee, Knabel, we have Schumberg, and we have Jonathan Brownlee in that order. But Alistair's not particularly happy with that order. He's got plans in mind. And so he makes a move. And I think in reality Vincent Louis was not in the right position there, but suddenly from 92 strokes a minute Alistair Brownlee goes up to 105 strokes a minute, and this is what happens. He just leaves Vincent Louis for dead. He does settle back to 92 strokes a minute, but look at that stroke, absolutely great. He's literally straight arm, all full extension, shoulder. The shoulder there is really pushing down in front of him to get him out, and the other shoulder exactly the same. So it's really just, the stroke rate's phenomenal, and he's extending to get maximum reach on every single stroke, which is wonderful to see, and that's why he came out first from the swim. So I've come out here to illustrate how these great triathletes actually produce such a high tempo, a high stroke rate. And they do so by using their deltoid muscle here, the shoulder muscle, to pull their arm forward. It looks like they're pulling their hand forward. You can see there. It looks like I'm pulling my hand forward there, but I'm still using my deltoid. I'm just extending the reach. And because they use their deltoid, they get into that position, which is a perfect catch position, and it's very early. So it goes bang and you're in there. And once you're in there, you can pull back in that stroke really quickly. If you pull your hand forward, which is what it looks like, I'm putting my hand forward, you can see I've actually dropped my elbow. If I drop my elbow, I'm not anywhere near the catch position out there. So I need the deltoid to pull forward, get into that position so I can drive back in that really nice, high cadence, high stroke rate effort on the swim. And that improves my speed, it improves my ability to catch the water. And that's what you want in your swimming. So that's the men knocking 7 out of each other in the start of a triathlon, and they're just going hell for leather. Now most of us would think they're sprinting, but what they're actually doing is pulling the arm forward using the deltoid and smacking that in the catch position. Question, do the women look any different? Well, let's go to the women's race. This is the mixed relay, the first leg of the mixed relay, and we'll have a look at the women as they start their swim for the triathlon. So this is just after the start of the mixed relay, the women, and they're going very fast indeed. You can see they're stroking about 97 strokes a minute. And we'll take a look at this as this goes ahead. This is Barthélemy, and she's actually got a stroke rate of 108. Now she looks very flat-armed as she comes through, but she is really extending that arm into the water. She's trying to keep a high stroke rate, obviously, to get the best position for her team. And that's quite natural. But as it goes through, you can see she's keeping that stroke rate going. We're talking about 80 to 90 strokes a minute there, and that's very fast indeed. So they're just the same as the men, and as they come round the course, this is only a 300-metre swim, we'll take a look at the shape of their arm. And as you look here, you look at the whole field, you can see the arms are very much out to the side. So there again, we've got that sort of curved shape in the shape of a catch, if you like. Most of the swimmers there have exactly the same type of stroke. We've got a straightish arm with that nice bend into the catch position, which is what we now come to expect of professional swimmers. And let's face it, these are professional swimmers. They're also going very fast, and the stroke rate is not diminishing all the way through. If we take it here, then we can see we're still going fast. Let's just take the stroke rate. We're taking 88 strokes a minute and 93 strokes a minute for Barthélemy, and they've kept it going throughout the race. That's phenomenal. So the women are virtually the same, and we're looking at stroke rates above 100 strokes a minute. Now, I don't know if you know how difficult that is to hold, but for you and I, that would be sprinting flat out. And these people are holding it either for 750 or, in the case of the women there, for 300 metres. Now that's long. Let's just take a look at sprinters doing it and see exactly how they position their arms. Okay, so this is the International Swimming League race, and we're interested in this particular swimmer here who's about to break a world record, Caleb Dressel, in the 50-metre freestyle. So let's have a look at him stroking. He's actually gone out at 126 strokes a minute. That's incredible, and he's going to come back even faster than that, 137 strokes a minute. And he's going to clock a world record of 20.24 seconds. What I want you to look at is the shape of his arm as he comes over. So he is bringing his arm incredibly straight and then straight down into the water, and again incredibly straight and straight down into the water, and that gives him tremendous acceleration. As you see, as he drives his arm in, it rotates his whole body from one side to the other. So there he's just about to drive his arm in, and his whole body is going to rotate that way as it does it. You can see his shoulder and hip come at the same time. His other arm comes out and drives in from that high position and rotates completely to the other side. That's a lesson to learn for all swimmers, not just sprinters. Now Caleb Dressel went even faster. He was up to 137 strokes a minute, and the way he did it was by raising his arm up really high, then driving it in. And that's what sprinters do. They have a high drive in so that they can get that really high stroke rate. But to do that high recovery, you have to pull up using your deltoid, up and then drive, up and then drive, drive, drive. But it also gives you a wonderful rotation, because as you drive your arm forward and push your shoulder forward, you get a tremendous rotation, not only from the shoulders, but also from the hips. Now in our Back to Swimming series this week, number 7, we are doing exercises to improve your deltoid use when you actually swim. And then we're going into a set that actually is quite testing, and if you can up your stroke rate on that, that'll be really good. So please look out for the session this week. It may help you with improving your stroke rate when you're swimming. So there we have one of the best exponents of front crawl in the world, Caleb Dressel. And you can see he has a very straight arm coming up, and then he drives down into the water, which rotates his hips, throwing his shoulder forward. Now you can do the same thing. Now what you would do as a triathlete is actually have it slightly out to the side. Bringing it all the way up top and then driving it down is more a sprinter's way of doing things. Now it's quite difficult to up your stroke rates. You do need often a little help. I've got a tempo trainer here beating out 100 beats per minute. Now just think, Alistair Brownie in that race was 105 strokes a minute. He was going above this, and every single of those beats was an arm movement. I'll show you something of what I mean. I'll put it down on the ground. So that might not look particularly fast, but I'm using my deltoid to actually get into that catch position. And that's what he was doing there. Full extension, catch position, and extending that shoulder. So shoving the shoulder down the pool into that catch position, or in that case a lake of course. And that's the only way you can actually maintain that really high tempo stroke rate. Okay, so make sure you look at that session plan. That's it for this week. See you in the session plan and next week for something different. Thanks very much for watching. Keep well.